Vin Diesel was born Mark Sinclair on July 18, 1967, in Alameda County, California, under circumstances that would quietly shape the way he approached life. His birth certificate listed no father, leaving a blank space that seemed to echo through his formative years. Raised by his mother, Delora, a white astrologer of Scottish descent, Vin grew up in a household full of curiosity and wonder, yet shadowed by questions he could not answer. Delora never disclosed the identity of his father, and even as an adult, Vin chose to preserve that mystery rather than solve it through DNA tests, embracing the ambiguity as part of his story. That early absence instilled in him a sense of independence, a knowing that he could rely on himself to navigate life. He was raised alongside his twin brother, Paul Vincent, in New York City, far from suburban predictability, in the Westbeth Artists' Housing in Greenwich Village, a converted industrial building filled with painters, musicians, and creators of all stripes. Their world was unconventional, alive with inspiration and the hum of creativity. Among their neighbors were figures like jazz legend Miles Davis and photographer Diane Arbus, whose quiet genius rubbed off on the young twins. Vin's stepfather, Irving Vincent, a black theatre director, brought an artistic rigor into the home, encouraging imagination and storytelling. This combination of curiosity, mystery, and artistic energy planted seeds that would later blossom into a career that married heart, grit, and vision. The spark of performance. Vin's first encounter with acting came at the age of 7, in a story that feels like fate. He and friends broke into a local theatre, intending to leave graffiti on its walls. But the theatre director, rather than scolding them, handed them scripts and asked them to participate in rehearsals. Vin, with a mix of defiance and curiosity, agreed, landing a role in a play called Dinosaur Door. That moment, small and unassuming, ignited a spark that would guide him through the rest of his life. It was the first time he realized the thrill of inhabiting another character, of using voice, body, and emotion to tell a story. Surrounded by artists and the vibrant chaos of Greenwich Village, Diesel's imagination flourished. He learned early that creativity could open doors where none seemed to exist, and that self-expression could become a lifeline, a way to understand the world and his place within it. Teenage years and early struggles. Adolescence for Diesel was a mixture of energy, curiosity, and necessity. Life was not easy, and by his teenage years, he began working to support himself. At 17, he became a nightclub bouncer, navigating the frenetic, unpredictable world of Manhattan clubs such as Tunnel and Mars. These were not glamorous roles. They demanded strength, presence, and a keen awareness of danger. Vin's reputation for resilience earned him the nickname Diesel, inspired by the perception that he operated like a machine fueled by sheer energy. The nickname stuck, and years later, it would become his professional identity. Alongside these demanding nights, Vin committed himself to building his body, training with makeshift equipment like beer kegs and push-ups on the floors of nightclubs. From a slim teenager, he transformed into a muscular, imposing presence by his early 20s, a physicality that would become part of his cinematic persona. Yet through all the challenges, acting remained his quiet obsession. He carried it with him, a seed planted years before, growing in parallel with the life lessons learned in the streets, the clubs, and the artists' apartments of New York City. Education and the leap to filmmaking. In 1987, Diesel enrolled at Hunter College, majoring in English literature, eager to refine his understanding of story and language. Yet balancing studies with work proved challenging. By 1990, just 3 credits shy of graduation, he made a decision that would define his life. he left college to pursue acting and filmmaking full-time. Inspired by filmmakers like Robert Rodriguez, who had created El Mariachi with minimal resources, Vin believed he could create opportunities rather than wait for them. Faculty and mentors tried to dissuade him, even sending letters meant to simulate Hollywood rejection to prepare him for the difficult path ahead. But Diesel was resolute. He understood that risk was necessary if he wanted to turn his passion into a career. Leaving school was not abandonment. It was a leap of faith, a commitment to his craft, and an embrace of the uncertain road that would eventually lead him to global recognition. Early Hollywood struggles. Diesel's early Hollywood experience was defined by persistence in the face of invisibility. His first appearance, in Awakenings, 1990, was uncredited, and for years he struggled to secure speaking roles. Hollywood seemed unwilling to categorize him. He wasn't white enough for some roles, not black enough for others. Rather than compromise, Diesel created his own opportunities. In 1994, he wrote, directed, produced, scored, and acted in a short film called Multifacial, chronicling the struggles of an actor of mixed heritage facing rejection. Filmed in just 3 days with a modest budget of $3,000, it initially went unnoticed, and Diesel nearly abandoned it. Encouraged by his stepfather, he persevered. Small screenings and festival entries eventually caught attention, culminating in recognition at Cannes. The short film became more than a calling card. It was a declaration of agency, a bold statement that he would define his own path, not rely on Hollywood to fit him into a pre-written mold. Breakthrough with Spielberg. A copy of Multifacial eventually reached Steven Spielberg, who was struck by Diesel's ingenuity, authenticity, and emotional depth. Spielberg rewrote a role in Saving Private Ryan, 1998, for him. Though Diesel's screen time was brief, around 12 minutes, his portrayal of Private Capazzo left an indelible impression. In a scene attempting to save a young girl before his character is killed, Diesel demonstrated a vulnerability and humanity that contrasted with his later action hero image. Spielberg praised Diesel's creative input on set, signaling a shift from anonymity to professional recognition. This moment marked the turning point in Diesel's career. Doors that had been closed for years finally began to open, and his persistence had found reward. Rise to action stardom. By 2000, Diesel starred in films like Pitch Black, which introduced audiences to the charisma, intensity, and quiet depth he brought to action roles. However, it was The Fast and the Furious, 2001, that cemented his global fame. Playing Dominic Toretto alongside Paul Walker's Brian O'Connor, Diesel embodied authenticity, grit, and familial loyalty. The film, made on a modest $38 million budget, grossed over $200 million worldwide, captivating audiences with high-octane action and relatable themes of family and trust. When offered $25 million for the sequel, Diesel declined, feeling the script lacked heart. This decision reflected his commitment to meaningful storytelling, a rare combination of principle and instinct in Hollywood. Building a franchise and creative power over time, Diesel expanded his influence from actor to producer, negotiating ownership rights in the Fast and Furious franchise. Films like Fast 5, Furious 7, and The Fate of the Furious collectively earned billions, thanks to Diesel's insistence on creative control. Through production companies such as One Race Films and Tygon Studios, Diesel protected his vision and ensured that the franchise remained aligned with his values. This combination of talent, business acumen, and persistence established him not just as a star, but as a shaper of modern cinema, capable of steering stories on his own terms. Friendship, with Paul Walker central to Diesel's life and career, was his friendship with Paul Walker. The bond formed on the set of the first Fast and Furious film was profound, built on trust, loyalty, and shared experience. Walker's tragic death in 2013 left a deep void. Diesel honored his friend by naming his daughter Pauline and embracing Walker's daughter, Meadow, as a father figure, even walking her down the aisle. On every November 30th, the anniversary of Walker's death, Diesel pauses filming to leave an empty chair as a silent tribute. The franchise itself preserves Walker's memory, blending action with emotion, culminating in See You Again from Furious 7, a song that became a symbol of enduring friendship and loyalty. Private life and family values, Diesel has always valued privacy and presence. In a long-term relationship with Paloma Jimenez, he has 3 children, yet rarely shares details publicly, following what he calls a Harrison Ford code of silence. He prioritizes their well-being over publicity, structuring filming schedules around birthdays and milestones, allowing his children to grow up with intentional care. His daughter, Hania, even voiced a character in a Fast and Furious animated series, and his son Vincent portrayed young Dominic Toretto in F9, blending family life with storytelling in meaningful ways. Waiting until his 40s to become a father allowed Diesel to invest deeply in parenthood, balancing fame with devotion and presence. Surprising interests. Despite his action hero persona, Diesel has cultivated surprising, imaginative interests. A longtime enthusiast of Dungeons and Dragons, he has engaged with the game since the 1980s, even writing a foreword for an anniversary edition of the rulebook. He continues to play with friends and co-stars, and has expressed interest in creating a live-action adaptation. These hobbies reveal a creative, playful side, emphasizing friendship, imagination, and quiet joy over spectacle, challenges, and controversy. Even with success, Diesel faced challenges, disagreements on set, creative tensions, and pressures inherent in Hollywood. Yet each obstacle highlighted his resilience and commitment to principles. He has consistently navigated fame with intentionality, protecting both his vision and personal life, balancing a public persona with private grounding in family, loyalty, and personal integrity. Legacy and influence. Vin Diesel's journey is a story of perseverance, creativity, and loyalty. From a fatherless child in New York's artist commune to one of Hollywood's highest-paid actors, he has built an empire on his own terms. Through Fast and Furious, he has honored friendship, embraced family, and shaped stories with both courage and heart. His strength is not just physical, but emotional, grounded in relationships as much as accomplishments. The man behind the persona. What sets Diesel apart is his humanity. He can lead billion-dollar franchises and yet be a devoted father, a loyal friend, and a creator who nurtures imaginative worlds. He embodies vulnerability alongside bravado, showing that true strength encompasses both resilience and tenderness. Diesel's life reminds us that fame and success are enriched, not diminished, by authenticity and connection. Conclusion. Vin Diesel's story is one of transformation, persistence, and integrity. From childhood mystery to global stardom, he has navigated the pressures of Hollywood while remaining committed to family, friendship, and self-expression. His legacy is measured not solely in box office numbers, but in the lives he touches, the characters he shapes, and the values he upholds. Diesel demonstrates that the human story behind the persona, full of curiosity, loyalty, and heart, is what endures long after the cameras stop rolling.